Hello and welcome to Trish Rock INSPIRES podcast and TV show, where you will be inspired by people truly living on purpose and loving life. Perhaps your passion, your purpose, and your empowered self will be sparked into action. Enjoy this episode and please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of series 3. It's just been such a thrill and an honor and an amazing time over the last couple of years doing series 1 and 2. And this series is to inspire you with stories of what other people are doing to live on purpose and what other people create in their life to be really loving life and living that purpose. And this is episode 1, 2021, and I'm so thrilled to be here. We've changed it up a little bit this year, so we'll be doing probably 2 interviews every month and some other information that I'm going to bring you. And today, the beginning of this year, I really want to talk with you about, how can you make the most of this year so that it matters? How can you make the most of this year so that it matters? And that's really important. And that's up to you, and that's a decision that only you can make. What is it that matters to me? And after the turmoil and chaos of 2020, you may well be asking, what does 2021 hold in store? Well, this, of course, is a really complex question. Because there really is a complex system of life and control here on this planet. So it is a complex question, and we are going to continue to see changes and shifts and realignment and restructure this year and probably the next couple of years. So it's not over, but we're certainly not going back to anything that resembled normal. And we have to really ask ourselves, what is it that matters to us and how can I build more of that? And, it really was a year where we decided or found out or were forced to look at what we don't want anymore and to move forward from it. And that's not an easy thing. Not an easy thing, and that's why for some of us we went kicking and screaming right from what we knew and forced into something that perhaps was the unknown, and that can be very frightening and scary. But this year, if you can really decide right what matters to you and take your power back, when we are in fear, we're giving our power to someone else or something else. And, there are some questions that will serve you well this year as you create the reality you wish to see and be in. Resetting your reality within first, which will then flow outwards into your experience and into the experience of others who can then feel confident to create their own reality in a new way as well. And, what is it in your life that you wish to be, do, have, and experience this year and beyond? That's the question. And, January, and even this first or second week in January, but whenever you are listening to this podcast, now is a great time. Now is a great time. So what is it that you want to see, be, feel, experience, think, take action on? Building your reality and being in alignment with your truth is the outcome, but it's also the way. You know, I think 2020 really allowed so many people to come into the truth of themselves, to come into that expression of their truth, to stand up and say, this is me, and this is what I want. And there are still people, and this may be you as well, there are still people in the confusion of that. But it's clearing. It's clearing. And if you are clear about who you are and what you want and the truth of you, then you will easily be able to come into alignment with that in these first few weeks of the year, and be able to really stay in that in a stronger sense. If you're still in a little bit of confusion about what that is, just breathe, take some time, it will come. It's basically a question of what feels good and what doesn't. What feels good to me and what doesn't. And but here's the other quandary in that too, for some of you might be going through, that doesn't feel good, but stepping into the unknown of something else doesn't feel good either. And this is the fear that you can get stuck in. But when you're in alignment with yourself, when you are in your truth, when you know what you want to experience in life, you can build that reality first from the inside out. So really being in alignment with you and hearing that voice within, hearing those spirit messages, following your intuition, following your feelings, hearing those gut feelings and those prompts. That is your truth. That is your truth here in your heart. Trusting that and having faith in that as you move forward is you aligning with you. And when you are out of alignment with your inner truth, it feels like you're butting up against the world. It feels like you're butting up against everything, and there's resistance and it doesn't feel good. So if you can really tune in to that truth of you inside and create a reality on the outside that's in alignment with that, that gives you the light then within you that will be shining brighter, but it gives you that light and that strength to stay in an experience of trust and faith rather than stepping back into fear. And if you're going to live an experience of fear this year, you will be totally disempowered. But if you can really shine your light and create a reality around you that is true for you, that will spread out all around you, and you will be more empowered to deal with or have resilience to anything that comes your way that is trying to throw you out of that alignment. But if you're living in fear, you're not resilient to any of the external forces. And that will be important this year. It really will. Your strength, your courage, your resolve to stay with your aligned truth will be really important this year. And what you do matters. Who you are matters. And the reality you create within you and around you, it matters. Not only for, I think I just swallowed a bug. For those of you on the podcast, not watching but listening. Oh my goodness. It matters, right? Who you are. You shining your light, it matters in the scheme of things. You may feel like a small part of something too big to make a difference to, but every part is part of the whole, and it is the whole. So it does matter. And what you do, and your courage and your strength and your confidence and your resilience moving forward also gives other people permission to be empowered as well. The more people stand up for themselves, the more that will follow. And this, if you're listening to this now, this is something that is important for you now, because if it's come across your awareness right now, then it's important for you right now. And it's what is the life that you want to live? That's a simple question, but complex. What is the life that you want to live? And as soon as you feel into that and you're in alignment with that truth of you, then you can, from your heart, instruct your mind and your logic to create that. And that is a beautiful, in alignment way to manifest whatever it is that you want. When you're coming from the mind down to the heart, it's often laden with ego and fear and anxious thoughts, things that aren't true. Yeah. So start with your heart. That's the truth of you. And then be all of that, everything that you want to experience and see and be in this life, you be it. And so the work isn't outside of yourself. The work is on the inside. All right, if I want to see a reality where there's more peace, I have to be peace. If I want to see a reality where there's more love, I have to be love. If I want to see a more sustainable world, I have to start being sustainable in my own life. If I want to see a more collaborative world, I need to be a collaborative person. If I want more truth being spoken, I need to speak my truth. Right? So do you understand? It's everything you want to experience in this life, you have to be. And the interesting thing here is that it will all unfold and unravel for you, and you will create that reality, because we all have our own realities. Every person has their own reality, their own world, right, that they interpret, and then we're part of a collective reality and a collective world. But your own personal world that you experience and your reality that you experience, it will change. It will change. And because it will change, you will be more resilient and more empowered to not let the external knock you out of that balance. Or if you do get knocked out of that balance, you can dust yourself off and come right back up again and continue. So that's the question I really want to ask you today, beginning of this year, or wherever or whenever you are watching it or listening to it. What is it in your life that you wish to do, be, have, and experience this year and beyond? What is it that really matters to you in your life and in the world that you live in? What matters, and how can you focus on that and grow that in alignment and in your truth, and not only create a better world for yourself and a better world collectively, but be resilient to the changes that are still going on this year and possibly next year and the year after. Thank you for tuning into this episode, and I will see you again soon. And thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Thank you for tuning in to another inspiring episode of Trish Rock Inspires podcast and TV show. I am a psychic, spiritual guide and a transformation mentor, and you can find me at trishrock.com. You can find all the episodes of Trish Rock TV over on our Facebook page, and if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please apply for a media kit at trishrock.com. See you next time.